Hello, everyone, and welcome to our fifth episode of Over the Rainbow. As always, I am Bobster, and I am joined by True North.
Guys, what's going on?
And today we have probably a little bit shorter of an episode for you guys. Apologize for missing last week, but North was currently exploring the wilderness. Or he's not currently, but he was exploring the wilderness.
My bad, boys. My bad.
He's charting the
Out in
Oregon
the
Trail.
woods, getting a wicked sunburn. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I know it's pretty gross, but I'm still peeling.
He's about as red as my logo.
Oh,
Yeah. So on the agenda for today, we have a couple of topics. The first thing I kind of wanted to talk about was potentially adding some hatches into maps, specifically on the roof, to maybe try and balance them out, give attackers maybe a little bit more of an edge. And then we're going to go into our missed opportunity for this week, and then we're going to wrap it up. North has some questions.
I have questions for Bob at the very end about something specific, which we'll get into when we get there.
Yeah, don't spoil it.
I won't.
So the first topic that we're going to get into is the hatches on map balancing. And so just to kind of explain my idea here a little bit, I was thinking of ways that you can make certain maps maybe a little bit more attacker favored or less defender favored, I guess, because it seems that right now defense is strong pretty much across the board. And if they're not strong, it's just kind of balanced, like in the case of like a consulate or a coastline. So my thinking was adding in hatches maybe on the roof of certain maps to make them more viable. And the first map that came to mind for me was Bank. I think that if Bank got some hatches, it could be, I don't know, maybe a little bit different, change it up a little bit. And we had talked briefly about this before, but maybe not necessarily on the roof itself, but also something to do with the basement.
Yeah.
I think on the roof, if you're gonna put one on the roof, I think it'd be cool if there was one in elevators, like not on the elevator that has a hatch in it already, but the other one.
hmm. I mean, like if you look at it on the roof, there's like three skylights on the roof, and the one on top square, that one. I mean, all of them you cannot rappel down them. Like you cannot rappel down those skylights, otherwise you're an idiot and you're just gonna get killed because you're so exposed when you're rappelling down those. So there's no way to play vertically from the roof currently, as in like I guess you can sit on the skylights, but it's really rare you're gonna be able to catch someone. And plus you're wasting your time on the roof because you can't go down. You have to jump down and enter from somewhere else. Um,
You could actually
because
vault
like
in main stair skylight.
yeah, but again, it's like
Is it worth the
it's
15-20 damage?
well that and then just like you're just jumping right onto main stairs. Like
Yeah.
you're pretty out in the open. So it's really just like you're up there holding an angle, and if you are up there holding an angle, you're just wasting time. Like especially on the attack, like the time is running against you. So when you're up there, you're kind of hurting yourself. But that's where I think a hatch would help because you could hold that or be up on those angles to like to nine flanks, but then you don't have to rotate all the way down or to that little patio on where like top square is. You can just go onto the hatch and just drop the hatch, and you can use it to get some early control and all that kind of stuff. So I think it would help in that regard. Um, but I think, in my opinion, for specifically Bank,
Hmm.
the top floor is not what the issue is. I think it's basement, which is like super defender sided. Just and like I don't think you can add another hatch. Excuse me, because there's
Yeah.
already
Yeah.
what like four
I think
hatches,
there is four.
five
Yeah.
hatches.
Gets
Wait, there's
yeah. There's
so the
five. Cer-
server hatch,
CC
then CCTV, and then
outside
there's the one in the hallway.
hallway, elevator, and
Vault.
vault. Yeah,
Yeah, that's five hatches. That is so many
that is a
hatches.
lot. I mean,
Like you
that's
cannot add any more.
that's half the defense's reinforcements on hatches.
Exactly.
There's so many
Like
hatches on Bank in general. I think it has. Is that the map with the most?
probably. I mean, with the basement has five alone. That's crazy.
Yeah, five, and then there's janitor, outside janitor, and then open area. That's three more. So it's eight hatches.
Yeah, you're right. That's a lot of hatches, man.
That is a lot. Oh, an elevator, the second elevator one. It's 9.
Oh, you're right. There's another one
Dang,
there.
dude. My
That's so many hatches.
my other idea for a spot there would be like I don't think this hatch would be super like play vertically from it, but it would just kind of be like a nice thing to have is at the top of square stairs, like when you're going up top.
Wait, where? Sorry?
So like if you're walking up square stairs on bank to the top
Yes.
floor, where it has
Yes.
that like that wraparound balcony, right there at the top of the stairs have a roof
A
hatch
hatch?
because there's a window there,
Yes.
but
That could work. That'd be a nice little hatch there.
yeah, like I don't
Get
think
rid, maybe, would you get rid of the skylight or keep the skylight?
well, I definitely keep the skylight. Yeah,
Yeah, you think so?
I
You
just
think that wouldn't be too annoying to have attackers up there, like literally holding your skylight and then just like like literally on the skylight and then just dropping the hatch. Like there's no punishment for just staying up there for the whole match, pretty much.
yeah. I honestly think like if they were gonna rework bank, I think the bottom floor needs the biggest change, and I think if you made like some
Yeah.
sort of hallway connecting garage to blue stairs, it would be fine.
Oh,
And maybe
wait,
tie it,
garage to blue stairs.
yeah, garage to blue stairs, and maybe tie it into the uh I can't think
Server?
or like the room right outside of the elevator drop on bottom floor where that computer card is.
Yeah, I don't. It's like there's a couch in there. I know.
Yeah, like if you had
Yeah.
like a little offshoot from like where the garage ramp is to go in there,
Hmm.
and then like maybe you had like a little service door or something like that to work it into it, and then that tied into blue stairs somehow, or maybe there was like a ladder back there that ran up to somewhere. Just a thought. 'Cause
Yeah.
I feel like the offense just needs some sort of way to rotate around downstairs because it's a staircase and then you're just there. Like you're not going anywhere. You were there.
Yeah, it's literally you got the staircases and then all of the hatches. But the problem with the hatches is when you're actually dropping them, you're really vulnerable.
Yeah.
Like if the defense is paying attention, they can just kill you as soon as you drop the hatch. But it does work up both ways, the hatches, because I've seen it where like an attacker just drops and like the defense has no idea what's going on and he just drops and kills everybody. Like sometimes it just works and sometimes it doesn't. So it's just a little inconsistent hatches in my opinion.
I mean, I think just the bottom floor of bank is if your smoke doesn't put his canisters in the right spot and defense misses the nitros, offensive wins.
That's true.
Like
If they're going for a default
that's
plan.
it. Yeah, that's really how it plays out, which is why it's boring. But
It is because it's literally just the same thing every time.
yeah,
So attackers try to plan default. If you don't C4 or smoke effectively, then you're gonna lose. Because retaking once they've diffused or once they planted, you're not winning. I'm sorry, but like I've seen it happen, but like you should not be able to win that. Like the attackers, if they set up properly, they don't even have to hold an angle onto the bomb. They just hide in corners, hide in tunnel, hide in server, hide in blue stairs. Like you can, and it's so the only way to get someone to go for a flank is to go up blue stairs or like go to flank all the way around and go to blue stairs. That's the only way you can have someone
yeah,
flank.
that's true.
And it's just like you literally just have someone watching it or have a drone up there. Like it's so easy to deny. So it's either or. But then again, like if you go for default plant, your planter gets C4'd or smoked. Then what do? You send another guy in and hope they don't have another C4 or more smokes,
Right.
which you
Yeah,
probably are gonna have.
and then that's assuming that Echo and Maestro aren't on the board. You have to
Yeah,
get rid of
that
the evil
too,
guy.
exactly. Like it literally just becomes plant denial
Yeah.
simulator.
The other the other map that I was kind of thinking of, or the other two maps I was thinking of, in regards to hatches, were the second one would be border, and
Okay.
I think that like maybe a nice kind of hatch area for that would be into break room, but like the part of break room across from where the fridge is, where that little table is, and that little I don't know what that style of like fencing is on the wall.
Yeah, I know what you mean though. It's like the little
Yeah, I
a
think
half
a
wall with little
hatch
things.
there would be like just a nice thing to add. I mean, it wouldn't add a whole lot to it, but then I also feel like um, maybe, possibly, a hatch in if you know where like the tellers are, Well, actually,
Well,
ah,
30 wood is the hatch and tethers.
yeah, no, but I was thinking like on the roof.
Oh, like office.
Yeah,
Like where we remember where people used to nade through that like little, I don't even know what to call it, but like little
like the
plate with
dome
a
thing.
bunch of little holes. Yeah, the dome.
Oh, actually, I didn't think about that. Like making that a
Put a hatch
hatch.
there instead. Yeah.
That would be interesting.
I mean, if that happened, you cannot play in office anymore.
Or even like
Like
maybe not like a hatch, but have it like you can like maybe keep the dome feel to it, right? But maybe put like a small lip all the way around the outside, and then leave the like where the actual like the entry or the holes were in the dome, make them bigger. Still make it so you
you
have
can't get in.
so
You can't
you
get in
can't get
there.
in, but like you could vault in. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you can't just run in and fall in, but you could vault in.
Maybe.
I
I just feel like
I
if
don't think that
that
would be over. I don't think that would be that overpowered though, because I mean, normally people don't play in office.
Well, I guess I was kind of looking at it from the competitive side because a lot of teams, what they'll do is if they're playing Armory, like Armory Law or Armory Archives, they will have a setup in, or at least some of their strats, they'll have a setup in Office where they're trying to like
True.
bandit trick Office
Oh
wall.
yeah, you could just shoot the bandits or the
There's like you literally can't do anything against, like you cannot hold Office anymore because you have just someone either vaulting in and killing you, or just nading you, or like it's so much easier because
yeah.
you know how hard it is to nade through the little dome thing. Like
Yeah, you have to
you have to
bounce
do the
it.
perfect thing, all that kind of stuff. Like or jump up or like on the
Right.
vents where like we're up there, all that kind of stuff. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, I mean, I think what the first thing you were talking about, have one break room, it would make clearing CCTV a little bit easier. Even I mean, it is pretty easy because there's like what 3 doors to get in there or 2 doors and
Yeah.
a window. And then like there's not many places where they can play safely unless they put some utility over there. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like a hatch there wouldn't do a whole lot in terms of the overall play of in the map. But I mean, pretty much no one goes on the roof on border like ever. There's basically no reason to.
Yeah, I mean, the only spot you really go is to peek kind of square and get a maybe cheeky pick on east
Oh,
stairs.
that actually reminds me. What if we turned if we like so you know what you were just talking about the square like roof where
Mm-hmm.
that's open. What if we
Yeah.
changed that, made it a hatch,
It's a
and
big
then
hatch.
added in well, not that big, but like added a hatch and then like a little room where you'd go in that connects to like east stairs or something like that. Because obviously if it's just a hatch up there, you can't drop down because you'll just die because you'll fall down into
Yeah.
waiting. So like have like a little room in there, um, and that way like you have a way to get into the building from the roof. Currently,
I
there's
got you.
no way to get into the building from the roof
Right. I mean,
unless you're
you
rappelling
could
down
rappel
square.
down there. Yeah. I've only seen
I
it done
swear.
once in my entire career, and it was on Xbox.
Oh, of course it was.
Yeah, it was actually my. I killed a guy there, and it was my first ace as Pulse, or it was actually my first ace in general.
Oh,
The
you
last.
remember it
Yeah, I
like it
heard
was
the.
yesterday.
Oh yeah, well I heard the guy there, and I was running around square, and I was like, I hear the guy around here. Then I looked up, and I'm like, oh, I killed him. But yeah. Um. So yeah, I mean, for border, I think other stuff has to be changed beyond hatches. But
That's true.
the third map was for me was Chalet. Now the Chalet rework is coming out,
See what happens there.
so we'll see if Ubisoft takes any of our suggestions. But I think a roof hatch would be like super nice in somewhere on the roof of Chalet, because I feel like it's so hard to enter top floor if the defense is just anywhere nearby.
I mean, top floor with the defense. I mean, they just like they play the ACOGs and they like will not let you up there
Right.
if they really want. And sometimes it works. Like you just have to frag them, honestly, because they just got the ACOG. You just got to hit them in the head. Um, but yeah, like wait, where did you see the hatchet go? Just
So
somewhere up
so
there?
so yeah, so somewhere up there. But my initial thoughts were possibly one like near the fireplace at the top of main stairs. And that would also work
Yeah.
because like if you're attacking master and people like to play there, you could open the hatch and get them off of that.
Hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, because sometimes like if you're attacking master and like say you have somebody on master Bauk, somebody can be playing at the top of main stairs near the fireplace and just destroy you with an ACOG through the soft wall if they leave it soft.
I mean, there a hatch wouldn't be bad. I don't think.
I think there,
Hatch.
or possibly like at the top of West Main, in between the top of West Main and offices, kind of like across from where the planter box is, like somewhere in there as well. I feel like if those two hatches were added, it would make like the top floor a lot less viable, just because that would cut off a ton of rotations.
Yeah, and I mean, right already cannot defend top floor. Like it's pretty much impossible.
Yeah,
Like if you have an actual site up there, I think that would make it worse.
that might
They'd
be
have to do something. They'd have to do other things.
too much power to the attackers.
Yeah, I mean, like Chalet is kind of Chalet is like not really defender or attacker sided. I don't really think it needs roof hatches, in my opinion. I feel like there needs to be changes to the basement, and then the top floor. I think the middle floor is fine the way it is. Like it's not that bad. Like Trophy is a viable site. Like you can play Trophy, but pretty much anywhere else, basement is tough because you can't bandit trick anymore. You can't Cade trick because there's just so many ways to deal with it. And then they can just pinch you from big garage and getting snowmobile open. So basement's kind of tough, and then there's also they can get vertical pressure onto wine. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like that's not, but then again, like it's not really defender or attacker sided. So I don't think it needs the changes. I don't think it needs roof hatches. And I'll be honest, I don't think like recent map buffs that Ubisoft has made, there really hasn't been that many roof hatches that they've added to like their map buffs or map reworks.
Theme park control hatch.
Well, theme park,
Great
yes,
addition.
but that's really the only thing I can think of. The only map that they've reworked that they've added a hatch to the roof.
The biggest thing they add is staircases.
Yeah, they love their staircases.
Oh yeah, I mean like think of
Clubhouse,
Oregon.
for example.
Yeah,
Or Oregon.
Oregon Club, theme park, they all got new staircases.
Yeah.
Actually, I guess Cafe kind of did with the
Where?
like not new, but they updated like all of the
Oh,
staircases.
the brown stairs.
Well,
Yeah.
even white stairs, they sealed off the railings, so it wasn't the stupid like single pixel bars.
Dude, I don't even remember that. Did they have that there?
Yeah, they had like the
Oh,
stupid little bars, and now they just
yeah.
have like the solid piece. And then
That's good.
on the basement of Cafe, where the old stairs came down, they like wrapped them around and made it a solid wall instead of a banister.
Dude, they need to do that on Bank. Get rid of the bars on Bank.
Oh yeah, dude, I hate
You should have heard me today. I was playing ranked, and I hit I was in vault as Maestro, and this guy he came down main stairs and I hit every single bar. And I'm like, dude, I'm never
all
playing there
81
again.
shots.
We'll put it that way, bro. I mean, I didn't hit. I mean, I didn't hit. Like every shot didn't hit, but like, dude, I shot him for a solid like second and a half,
Yeah,
and this guy was 1 health, and I was
That's
like,
so
"Bro,
annoying.
how are you not dead? I was shooting at you with Maestro, but it was just I could hear like ping, 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 ping.
yeah. The bars, I think, just any sort of like
So
bars,
bad.
chain link fences, like
Yeah.
it's such a dumb mechanic because it's like I feel like you should be dead, but every single one of my bullets has hit these stupid little metal pieces.
It literally just makes it luck. Like that gunfight is just all down to luck,
Or honestly,
which
like
is not fun.
if they want to keep it in the game, like maybe have those areas have like the same properties as like a softball. So like if the bullets hit the bar, they can like ricochet for like a penetration effect to where it deals like less damage, but it still connects. Maybe
Yeah.
not, but
I mean,
just a thought.
like wooden ones, kind of like in house.
Yeah, because
Like they have the wooden banisters. That's fine.
I don't feel like that like on bank the bars like I don't like specifically leading into the actual vault portion. I don't feel like that should be open. I feel like the defenders need some sort of cover there. Maybe that be
Well,
like a
this is
pillar
the
in the
thing.
middle.
Someone posted something on Twitter. This was a while ago, but it was really interesting. Basically, you remember that map they added when the Sixth Invitational was around the corner, where there's a bunch of like plexiglass walls that were bulletproof.
Stadium.
Stadium, yeah.
Yeah.
So someone said just put like a bulletproof glass wall there, kind of like in Stadium.
Oh, dude, that'd be such.
That'd be
so
cool,
much
right?
fun just for memes.
Yeah.
Like you're just standing back there, like doing 180s.
Yeah, exactly. But like that could work. I would rather that than just have it open and like the bars have to go, dude. The bars just have to go. I don't
Yes.
care. Like they just have to go. So like that would be kind of cool though. Like that'd be nice. They should add that. Like everyone was saying, like, dude, after they put out Stadium, they're like, you could like this is a cool gameplay mechanic. You should use these in some of your maps.
I think it would need a little bit more testing, but I would love to see it in some future maps.
Yeah, that's true because it could, depending on how the map plays, it could be either attacker or defender sided, like heavily, where you can like do an insane run out on someone. But then again, it's not a mirror. It doesn't. It works both ways. Like you can see through it ways. So I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know.
true.
Oh.
So what you're saying is Ubisoft needs to drop some bars.
There's no way you just said that right
I
now.
did just say that.
Oh, dude.
Just you wait, they're gonna come out on Twitter.
I'm so happy this is like being recorded because now everyone knows what I have to deal with.
On a daily basis, the joy I bring to your life.
Oh my goodness.
So
Anyway,
I think that's a good segue to lead into our missed opportunity.
it's good to me.
So, North, would you care to explain this week's missed opportunity?
Sure. So, we were just kind of thinking about like, what's something that's kind of underpowered because we do this every week now. We've kind of started this, and something that we thought of was the FMG9. So that's Smoke and Nox submachine gun. Now, that weapon basically never gets any play because on Smoke, you're always bringing shotgun and SMG-11. So you use the SMG-11 for like not long range, but like medium range engagements, and you use the shotgun for close range, and then you use the shotgun to create rotates as well, which is absolutely necessary on pretty much all sites. And then on Knock basically never gets played, and so you basically never see it on her either. But with the addition of the new holographic sight that gun has, kind of like with the Mozzie's submachine gun, I forget what that one's called.
The Commando or the
No, not the Commando, the other
Roni?
one. The P10, yeah, the Roni.
Mm-hmm.
That sight is really good. I think that's like the best like one-time sight in the entire game.
It has a specific name, but I don't remember what it is.
Yeah, I don't remember either. But it's really good. And so I think that sight and the FMG9 has been buffed a couple times. So I think it's actually a pretty strong weapon.
I agree.
And I think on Smoke, if you're running a site where you have maybe like a mute and a castle, and you're still running Smoke, maybe try not running the shotgun because you don't need it for the rotates anymore because you have those two other operators that do that. And try running the FMG and play Smoke in a spot where he can have a little longer engagements with the FMG because it's actually not that bad of a gun. It's pretty good. It's got high damage, decent fire rate, and easy recoil. So what do you have to say, Bob, as well?
Even like if you bring in an Echo, like if Echo's not banned, Echo has impacts. So if you need to have rotates, bring an Echo, run the FMG. It's a fun gun. I mean, even before it was buffed, because it did receive that. How much damage was it buffed? Do you remember?
What, the FMG?
Yeah.
I don't know, like 5 damage, something like that.
But even before it was buffed on Xbox, sometimes I would play it on Smoke, and it was so much fun because like the gun's decent. Like it has a solid fire rate, like you said.
Yeah, so the gun, I'll give you the weapon stats right now. The gun has 34 damage, which is solid.
Yeah,
that's solid.
For an SMG, yeah, that's more like
800 fire rate, which is very controllable.
Oh yeah. No,
I think like the best fire rate is probably like somewhere around like 850 to 900. Anything higher than that, it kind of gets a little wobbly, and anything lower than that, you're kind of like, dude, this gun is just like, it's not really shooting very fast. Yeah, you can count the shots. You're like, bro, come on. So 800 is a really good fire rate. Like that's like solid. And then also, don't forget, you have the FMG9. You also have the SMG-11 still. So you whip that thing out in close range. Like you're good. Like you'll fry people with that. So yeah, the FMG9 is pretty good. It's a pretty good weapon. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be more fun to see people try it. Now, I had a question for you. What do you think if they added the ACOG to the FMG9? Only on Knock.
Then it would get... Oh, only on Knock?
Yeah, I mean, if it was on Smoke, it would be a 2-speed, and they don't do that. I mean, Goyo is kind of an exception, but the TCSG isn't an automatic weapon.
So, I think if they put an ACOG on okay, if they put an ACOG on Nox FMG, she's gonna get played like instantly. She'll get played more. I guarantee it. People love ACOGs, bro. Like, they
That's
love it.
true.
Um, I think that'd be a good buff to her actually, because that gun, dude, the FMG with an ACOG could be pretty nasty. But then again, it's kind of the thing is with Nock, and this is another thing. We were kind of saying how Nock is kind of underused as well, but she could be really good against a heavy intel setup by the defenders, because if they're running like an Echo, a Maestro, and like a Valk, then a Nock isn't a bad idea. I mean, we saw it used in Pro League a couple times, where the Nock was kind of used just to like sneak up behind like the flank of the enemy, like of the defense, and they didn't really know that they were there because you can't see them, because you can't see her on cams. Um, but giving her an ACOG would definitely be a solid buff to her.
Yeah, it's just a thought. Something
Yeah.
to consider. Kind of along with it though, um, what do you, what would be your thoughts? So say they kept the FMG9 completely as is, nothing changed with it. But
Sure.
what would be your thoughts on putting it on a different operator? Like, do you think it would get
The
played
FMG.
more? Yeah. So
Who are
like,
we putting on it? I think if they put it on another attacker, no, because attackers' guns are just straight up usually better in terms of damage,
mhm,
and and the gun, they're just guns are better on offense usually, and they get ACOGs.
right.
I think if you put it on another defender, I don't know, like Warden for example, I think it would get used.
I was actually thinking, um, on somebody more along the lines of like Goyo.
Goyo. Would people use it over the Vector though? I don't know.
I think
I
it's a
don't like
tough
the
call.
Vector.
I mean,
I don't like the Vector. I would use it, but I don't know if a lot of people.
because that's the thing. Like Goyo has the TCSG. I was trying to think of somebody who's like not played a whole lot, but like maybe it would
Goyo's a good example.
buff.
Goyo's
Yeah,
a good
because
example.
that's why I was trying to. But the Vector, it's a solid weapon. It's a little rough at longer ranges. It's tough. The
Yeah.
FMG9 would, I think, take the place of the Vector. I don't think he would have three weapons, but it would take the place of the Vector. So it would be Vector
Okay, so
versus TCSG.
in that case, I would run uh, the FMG9 because the TCSG is not very good right now. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's pretty much good for rotates, and then
Close range, and that's about it. If you go anything longer than close range, the damage drop off is just too much.
I'd like to see like a 10-point damage increase in the TCSG.
Because right now it's like a 2-3 shot like close, but anything like medium to long range, it's like a 4 or 5 shot, and it's like, bro, this gun is a single fire weapon. You cannot make it a 4 or 5 shot.
Yeah,
That's
really.
crazy. Like 2 shot, like 2 to 3 shot, 3 shot maximum on a gun that's a single fire. Like, I'm sorry, it should not be I should not be shooting you 4 times, and you not dying. Like, that's crazy.
Or even what if they gave Goyo a different, like an actual DMR on defense?
That'd be kind of fascinating. Because
Like,
you could use that to open hatches and stuff too.
right. I'm trying to think of like, I mean, the forts,
Maybe jokes. Joke would be.
like the four. What about the 417 is pretty powerful. I was actually thinking like Blackbeards, the SR21. I think that's what it's called.
SR-25, I believe.
25. Okay.
Um,
Um,
but
it's a
I don't know.
decent.
I feel like people would still use whatever is not single fire most of the time because fire rate is king in this game. Because you just need one headshot.
And I
That's why
think it's,
DMRs are barely used.
I think that goes even farther on console. I think people play less single shot weapons on console than they do PC. I don't know if there's a stat like that somewhere. If there is, please somebody comment it or comment a link or tweet at us or something. But I feel like just overall, automatic weapons are more used on console because there's more room for error.
I would actually maybe argue the opposite.
Really?
That, well, I'll explain. I'm playing devil's advocate.
Okay, I
So
like it.
I don't fully believe in it, but I'll just try and make some points here. So
So you're gonna lie to me?
on con no.
I'm just kidding.
On console, you can't really aim that well,
Right?
right? So it's pretty hard to hit someone in the head while they're moving on console. So it kind of makes sense that maybe they would bring more single fire weapons because you can just tank somebody if you're hitting them in the body. You don't have to worry about hitting headshots. Like all you have to worry about is hitting body shots, and you'll still do well with a DMR on console because it's hard, and they're trying to aim for your head. It's harder to hit you in the head. I don't know. I'm just playing devil's advocate, like I said before. But I think maybe because aiming is more difficult on console, that's where the higher damage kind of kicks in, and maybe makes it more viable to run DMRs.
My thing is just however many bullets you can vomit down range is like you have a higher
Yes.
chance of getting a headshot or hitting or just inflicting damage to some extent.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I was just kind of like throwing that out there
I like
that
it.
it could be that way too.
Do you have anything
Well, we
else
kind of.
you'd like to say on that? Or
I don't think so. Just give the FMG a try. Like I saw it in Pro League. I think it was, I forget which team it was, but they had Smoke playing in rafters on Clubhouse,
okay.
and instead of a dock, and he had the FMG9, and it actually worked really well because you can deny, you can use smokes to stop them from coming in garage door and pushing you really early. And then you've also got the FMG9, which is more of a medium to long range weapon that you can use.
Right.
So you can still do some damage with that for sure.
I feel like that's
Uh,
honestly something like Slash would play.
I feel like it was. I think it was against. I know it was an NA that I saw it. I think it was someone they were playing against DG. I think it was someone. I think it might have been Space Station. It might have been Bosco on smoke, because what they did is why they had the smoke there is because DG, what they would do is they'd send up Monty up
Oh,
rafters. So
okay.
they had the smoke there to try and take care of the Monty and delay or kill the
Gotcha.
Monty. Um, but I mean, I don't remember if it worked or not, but maybe give it a try. Who
Yeah.
knows?
All right.
Um,
You want to introduce
yeah.
our last topic?
Yes. So, um, I don't. So anyone who's watching here may not know this, but Bob is kind of nasty. He's pretty good at the game. So what month was this in? How long ago was this?
I think this would be in June.
June?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, it was June. May. It was June. It was June. I remember that. I'm remembering the post now. So, in June there was the open qualifiers for U.S. Challenger League, Canadian Challenger League, and the Canada Division itself. And Bobster, or just Bob, I guess I'll say,
Yeah.
he pugged through the quals with some guys, and the first quals were the Canada Division quals.
Yeah, for the new Canada Pro League, essentially.
Yeah. So, do you want to talk about that first? So after that,
Sure.
they did Canada Challenger League, but we'll talk about how well
Right.
and we'll talk about the team as well.
I
How
guess I'll
well
start
the
with the
Canada
team.
Division quals. Yeah. So tell us who you were kind of teaming with and how it was
So,
organized.
so actually, the team was a group of 5 people, and the day before, so we had 5 people, and then about a week before, we realized that one of the people we were playing with was like 16 years old, and it's like, okay, you can't play. So, for those
Yeah.
of you guys who don't know, you have to be 18 to play, for legality things. So we were trying to find a fifth, and seriously, the day before the Pro League qualifiers, we met this guy in ranked. His name is Keegan. He's a Twitch streamer. You guys should all go check him out. I'm pretty sure it's just Keegan R6 on Twitch. But so we found him in a ranked match the day before. He was Canadian. And we're like, hey, you want to try and push to Pro League with us? He goes, sure. So we threw together a team like the day before. We played in the Pro League qualifiers. We won first round. I think we got knocked out in the
It was third round. I think it was third round you got knocked out.
I
Maybe
think
second. I don't know.
I think it was. I don't know. I don't remember. I think it was like I don't remember how many teams, but we got knocked out in the round of best of 32. So we made top 32 teams, and then we lost, which I felt was pretty decent considering we were literally just 5 people who had met each other. And then the following weekend is when the CL quals were held, And throughout the week, we couldn't get us time to line up with our schedules. So like a couple of us would play ranked together, but we never got a full team on. We never developed strats. We never developed anything. But we just kind of meshed pretty quickly. And then we started the push for Challenger League qualifiers. And we won first round. We won second round. We won third round. And all of a sudden, we're in top 16. And we're all thinking to ourselves, like, guys, we win one more game, we're in. Like it's like reality is setting in, and you're like starting to like freak out a little bit. And we ended up playing this team at the time. They were Org Canada. And if, for those of you guys who follow Challenger League right now, specifically in Canada Division, they are now Oblivion. That's their team name. So they actually did make it in. So we ended up playing.
They placed second place in all of in Canada Challenger League, by the way.
Yeah. So that's the team that we lost to. So we made it all the way up to, like I said, best of round of top 16. We played them. We ended up losing, I think, 7-4 on the first map, and then 7-3. So I mean, it wasn't that close, but we weren't that far off. I mean, they were all very high rank, super coordinated. Especially compared to us, they were very coordinated. They knew what they were doing. They had like strategies and stuff like that, and we had nothing. We were a bunch of just ranked kids who essentially were thrown in there. Now, most of us had some comp experience, or a lot, but like it was just a whole different level of play when we went up against them. And so we lost to them, and we were all like a little upset. But then that night we got an email from Faceit saying, hey, you guys were the next highest ranked team. One of the teams that was supposed to get in didn't meet the requirements. They've been disqualified. Do you want the spot? It's yours. And so we're all like, this is crazy. Like, this is real. This is happening. And
so you made Challenger League. You made Canadian Challenger League.
Technically, yes, we did. Which is crazy. I mean, it's like the thing that everybody dreams of. It's like, okay, this is happening. Like, this is like you're kind of getting, I don't know, like hyped up. Like, you actually are like pretty decent at this game. Like, where are we gonna go next? Who are we gonna play? Like, we're gonna be casted and all this stuff. And then we send in all our information. Like, we get ready to send it all in, and there was a miscommunication with one of our team members. He wasn't gonna turn 18 for like 2-3 months?
6 months, no longer.
6 months,
something like that.
No,
like 5-6 months.
Yeah, 5. I think it was 5 months actually. And that was heartbreaking. I mean, there's nothing else to say. I mean, like, that was devastating. Because it's like, it's there, it's right there, and I don't know what team actually took our spot. Do you know who got in because we didn't?
I have no idea, but I'm guessing it's probably one of the lowest placed teams because they probably didn't do so hot. I honestly don't know. I'll try and look it up here.
I don't know either, but yeah, it was tough, man. It was really tough. Because I mean, it's one of the things where it's like you get there and you're like, okay, this is like a once in a lifetime opportunity to be here, to be sitting, knowing that it's like, okay, we're in. Like, you made it.
Yeah.
Because I definitely think with that group of guys, with like some refinement, we could have been a solid unit. And yeah, like maybe things turned out differently if the one guy was just pushed out sooner. Could have been a little bit different, but it is what it is, and you move on from it. But as far as like the quals themselves, it is, if you ever get the chance to do it, it is so crazy because, like, yeah, there's league games if you're in a league, and you might win a little bit of prize money. There's like the old Go 4 tournaments where you can win some R6 credits. But when you're playing in those qualifiers, you feel like you're playing for something so much bigger. The stakes are higher. Like, you just feel like the actual, like the level of competitive play is just escalated, if that makes sense. It's like nothing else you've ever done before, because like you're thinking to yourself like, okay, this is my shot at going, quote, pro for a game. or Challenger League or whatever you want to call it, but it's a shot at being something measurable on an essentially global scale. Because sure,
Sure.
anybody can go and like you can have a bunch of people who can just aim, go and win a go for, but it's only with like a solid coordinated team who's working together and playing off each other and just playing the game at a higher level that you can say with certainty that I'm one of the best teams in Canada or in the United States or in Latin America or APAC or Europe or whatever. You can actually say that with certainty because you can measure it against other people. And I think that's crazy when you're playing for that, like in the back of your mind. Like it's just absolutely crazy.
So I think the team that took your guys' spot, I think they're Akara Gaming, pretty sure.
Okay.
They got last place. But yeah, like I think it's so I remember when you told me about this, and I was blown away. Like, dude, my friend, like you could have been in Challenger League.
Yeah,
You
dude.
could have been playing, dude. Think about it this way: you possibly could have gotten casted by Kixon and Taro.
That's like a dream, honestly.
Yeah,
That's a dream come.
like that is so crazy. Like that'd be the coolest thing. And then you'd also be making some money, you know.
Honestly, it's not about the money for me though. It's just the ability to play at that high level and just kind of
Yeah,
be there and kind of like
and the money doesn't hurt though.
show the world that like I can be here. Like that would be like even cooler than anything. Being like, oh yeah, like I can play at this level. Like not only am I here, but I can continue to play at this level. Would be really cool.
I mean, you were there. You were right there.
Yep.
But so I hear you're going again, though. You're trying again.
Yeah. Who told you that?
I don't know. I heard a little birdie.
Yeah. So to anybody who's not in our loop here, North and I finally North was supposed to do it with me last time, but he backed out.
Back
But
down.
he's coming with me this time.
You know what makes me upset? If I was there instead of that player,
Yep.
I don't
You would have
know.
been
I don't
in.
know. I don't know if it would have. I don't know if I would have been good enough to get there, but it's possible. It's a possibility.
Yeah.
Uh,
Even if we like had him as a sub and like just used your ID, I wonder if that would have like if you would
I
have
think they
played.
would. I think everyone would have to send in their ID, even if you had a sub.
That's fair, probably. So
I feel like that's what they would have to do that for competitive integrity purposes. Because if he played in it at all, then I mean, like
yeah,
you gotta send in the ID.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it would have been different, but it still could have happened. It could have been
could
very
have.
possible.
You never. Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, I mean, like I think the first team we played in the actual Challenger League qualifiers, they were. Oh, okay. This is actually a good story. So, the actually, I can't remember if it was. I want to say I think it was actually this was the Pro League qualifiers.
Okay.
The first team we played, or the Canada Division qualifiers, because Pro League is like copyrighted by ESL. But so the first team we played, they were a bunch of, I think silvers, low golds, just rank
Oh
wise.
no.
We I think slapped them 7-1 and like 7-0 or something like that,
Yeah.
and then we moved on. Or no, we beat them 7-1. We moved on to the next round. We're playing in like the next round, and then all of a sudden the admin comes in. He's like, "Hey, you guys didn't finish your game. It's actually a best of 3, but Faceit screwed it up, so you couldn't actually enter in a best of 3 score. You could only enter in like a best of 1." And then it just accepted that and moved on. So like they had some kinks to work out, but they're like, "Hey, you need to go back and play your second or third games." And we're like,
Okay.
"Okay." Well, it's currently like in the middle of a match. It's like 2-2 on Villa against this other team. They're like, "We don't care. Pause it. You need to go back." So we're like, "Okay." We apologized to the other team because we didn't know. We went
Yeah.
back. We beat the kids like 7-2. Like it wasn't close again. And
Yeah.
then we hopped back into the other match, and that's where we ended up losing actually. But
Yeah.
that first part was just an absolute blunder. and when the CL quals came up again, it was a similar situation where we beat people pretty easily on the first best of three, and then they tried to protest again, and it was just like working out stuff with the admins, which they weren't bad. I feel like I kind of felt a little bit bad for them because they had a lot of stuff going on. That was probably like their first or second time actually handling anything Rainbow Six related, because they just took it over. And then the second round we won. I don't actually remember that team. And then third round we won. But like as like when you're winning, it's just like, okay, this is one step closer, and then you're like one step away, and it's like this is nuts. Like you feel so much stuff is on the line, like the pressure is there. It's just such a cool feeling.
Yeah, that must have been crazy. Like just being one game away from making it, and pretty much if you played almost anyone else, you also probably would have just made it. I mean, then again, you wouldn't have been able to, but if you didn't play the first or second place team, it's very possible.
Oh yeah, I mean they were definitely one of the best teams in there, if not the best team in the qualifiers. Well, they were loaded.
I mean, it's the standings show for themselves. They placed second in all of CL. So.
I mean, I definitely think if we would have made it into CL with the same group, we had some refinement, we definitely could have been in the top half. For sure.
I think you could have probably taken like third or fourth with your roster that you had. Like you had some pretty good mechanical skill on your team. Just all you required is just some coordination, more teamwork, and some strats.
And like I said, we never even had time to do any of that. Like it was such a piece.
That's what baffles me.
Yeah.
Because think about how far could you get this time if you actually like put in more time before the quals.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like you never know.
Yep. Well, we'll see.
We will.
Yeah.
Anyway, I wanted to get Bob's story on that because I find it really fascinating about all that happened and the ups and downs and all that stuff. So, hope everyone enjoyed that.
I will say, if you're an aspiring person who's looking to push for something like that, the thing that you need beyond anything else, like there's three, I guess, requirements if you're going to do qualifiers. Beyond anything else, without a doubt, you need dedicated people. You need people who will, if you're practicing, get on for those practice times, will show up early to games to warm up. People who will put in the extra time to learn their strat, learn what they're supposed to be doing, learn their reinforcements, learn their gadget placement, small things, the little things. That is more than anything in the world. There are so many people out there who think they are like,
they're top shit.
Yeah, like they're like the greatest gift Siege has ever seen, and that they're better than everybody else, and that they've been diamond for like 10 seasons in a row. Like no one cares if you can't stay on a team, if you can't stick with it to, like, even through a loss, stick with the team, learn from your mistakes, and figure out the problems and work them out, and still get on every single day at the same time with your team to work on stuff and to practice. Then you're going nowhere. Like I would never want to be on a team where anybody like that would ever be picked up. I think dedication is everything. The second thing would be team, like I guess not teamwork, but just learning how to work together and adapt together as a team. Like so, like if you have a I don't care how good your strategy is, at some point it's going to go out the window. Somebody's going to get picked off early. Something's not, like, there's going to be reinforcements where you didn't think they should be, but you have to be able to work as a team and change your plan and not just have 5 people doing their own individual thing and hoping that something miraculously happens.
Yeah.
And the third thing I don't think a lot of people consider, but endurance. So the qualifiers are long. Like if you've never played on a qualifier, especially for United States Challenger League, they are super long. Because you're playing, I think Facet's thing is best of threes. That's just how they do it.
Yeah, it's best of threes.
It's best of threes, and we'll say, for example, that I think how many teams do they have originally? 256?
Yes, and then it got maxed out, and they had to up it to have 512 teams.
Yeah.
And it almost reached. There was like 400 teams in the U.S. Challenger League qualifiers.
Yes,
it was crazy.
So just for argument's sake, we will assume that there's 512 teams in the next, United States qualifier. And out of those 512 teams, you're going to play one in the first round, but then every round is going to get cut in half. But we'll say that every single map goes for an hour in a best of 3. So the first round you're going to play, or first round of the bracket, you're going to play for 3 hours. Then there's going to be 256 teams left. You're going to play for another 3 hours. And then there's going to be, 128, 3 hours 64, 3 hours 32, 3 hours 16, 3 hours 8, 3 hours, and then you're in the top 8, but you've already played, like, technically an entire day's worth of Siege. You played, like, 21 hours.
I think they have 2 days. Like, they split it up into 2 days. But even one day, like,
Yeah, even one
like
day, it's
even the 8 hours of straight Siege of playing competitively, it takes a toll.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you're going to get ready to do it, start working on, like, best of 3s, best of 5s, or back-to-back best of 3s, just to try and, like, build up that endurance of, yes, playing, but also not getting frustrated, not getting tilted, not getting worked up, not getting mad at your teammates, because that plays into it too. Like, you can't be going into games already mad at somebody for something they did the game before. But
yeah,
just tips, I guess.
Do you have anything else? I think I'm good. I think we pretty much covered everything.
So.
Okay. We can go ahead and end here then. Episode 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, apologize for the week off, but North is back. He used his compass. He found his way out of the woods.
I don't know how to use a compass.
Well, hopefully
which way's north?
Aloe vera.
True north.
Yeah. Except you would have gone to the Iceland of Canada.
The Iceland of Canada. I actually have been using lots of, like, aloe vera spray on my face, and my back to keep my skin hydrated, but it didn't help because it just peeled anyway. But whatever.
I love how you say to keep my skin hydrated.
Well, that's what it's for, because if you get a burn, you got to keep it hydrated. Otherwise, it gets really dry and it just peels off, and it's gross.
I feel like you could have, like, every single morning. This is my routine. I wake up, I moisturize, I exfoliate.
I moisturize.
Then you exfoliate.
I used to. I'm gonna be honest. I used to have really bad acne when I was in high school. So I would, like, wake up. I would, like, put on. I had, like, 3 different creams I had to put on. I had this like face, like, deep cleaner. I mean, now I don't anymore because I don't have any acne anymore. But, like, it was pretty bad. So I was like, had the morning routine going, you know.
Use proactive.
Use proactive.
But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning into episode 5. I appreciate all the support that's happened on the podcast. It's really been great. Continue leaving some questions for us in the comments, or join our Discord, or tweet at us. Any of those options are welcomed. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening to episode 5, and we'll see you in the next one.
See ya.